Home Show.
Kelly from Glen Heights, Texas, has a question about sinking piers.
Yeah, he's having trouble with his plank subfloors, and I want to make this right, Bodark stumps for piers that support his very first home he's bought, Tom, so he's looking for help. Kelly writes, we had it checked, and this report, here, check out the numbers here, you can see the measurements on it, shows the front and the back are fairly level, but it sags in the middle, which is never good news, Kelly. He says, I want the house to be truly level, which we'll talk about in a minute. No more walking uphill or leaning doors. He says, will adjusting these pieces fix this, or do I need to rip up the whole subfloor and start over because the wood floors would be warped from sitting in that position for years? Also, when I replace the rotten subfloor areas, Tom, and put in new laminate flooring, will the new flooring be ruined in 5 years when the house readjusts again?
I'm not going to worry about the floor right now. I want you to understand, I want Kelly to understand what this truly is. It'll never be perfectly level. It's an old home. They put these things, the way they built them, they crawl around all the time. I remember when I used to talk to the Dutton family about these types of homes, they'd say, Tom, we'll go in and we'll get it as level as we can. But there's no lifetime warranty or anything. It's just impossible for us to do that. But they will take care of it for you or for anybody, for that matter, if you're in the area.
Well,
but as far as that goes...
and by the way, that's Due West Foundation Repair he's talking about.
Yes, I'm sorry, Due West Foundation Repair. And they work the whole state, so they might... I'm not sure where Glen Heights is, but...
I think, yeah.
Anyway, as far as that goes, you'll never be perfect. It's an old home. You have to accept what you have bought. Changing all the subfloor, I don't think, is an option. I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is this. All these guys can do is go under there. They can add some more supports. They can use some concrete masonry units, which people love to call cinder blocks, and they'll put them in there. And metal shims is the way they're going to go. They're going to get it as flat and straight as they can. And as far as that goes, once that's there, you can put your new floor in, and if you maintain it and you see it moving around a little more than you want it to, then you can have an adjustment done, which won't be so drastic. So if you want to keep an eye on it every 4, 5, 6 years, you can have an adjustment with the shims. That's easy enough to do, and that's probably what you'll want to do. I don't think it's going to hurt your floor. I think that's the least of your worries. I think getting this thing on a little bit more support is really going to be helpful to keep it where you're happy, but don't expect perfect level. It's not going to be that way.
No, moisture issues. We had that problem with our house. Now, I live on a slab. I don't live on pier and beam, but I imagine it's the same thing. We had a whole moisture issue in the center of our house where it went down, and they had to come and do that, and then they wound up having to go around the perimeter. It was a very involved job. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how much it would cost, but I will tell you it was about a year's college tuition. Give you an idea. Okay, in the state. In-state.
Yeah, not anymore. In-state. It's more now.
No. It was in-state, a year in-state tuition. No, I know that number real well.
Yeah, I got stuck with a few out-of-states.
Yeah, no. In-state tuition. So anyway, you do the math. You figured that out, Kelly. But yeah, and like Tom says, what they do at Due West is they get your house true again. You know, every house is going to be a little crooked or left.
Where it was, yeah.
Right.
Do the best they can.
They get it back to true again. And I think that, Tom, when it comes to pier and beam, that's a foundation that requires some vigilance and some maintenance from time to time because those piers do move a little bit.
The old ones do. Now, I built a lot of new ones in Bel Air and you know, in municipalities where you use heavy concrete walls around the outside, big giant piers in the ground. That's fine. Those aren't going to have any problem. But you get into these old ones with these old cypress wood piers and stuff they just drove in the ground and things like that. Yeah, when they built that house, they had no idea a person in 2020 was going to be calling a radio show and getting an answer on the internet that house is even still standing.
True. That's true. Well, it's like Abe Lincoln used to say, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You got a question? We can help you out. Visit HomeShowRadio.com. Go ahead and fill out that Ask Tom form, send it in. And now, not only can you send in your question in pictures, but now we welcome you to send in videos. You can ask your question in video or send us a video of what you're talking about, and we'll be happy to help you out.